Hello, I'm Claire from Creative the Ottaway. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up in the UK. Thank you for joining me. This is my weekly craft along. I do one every week, life permitting, and this week I'm going to share with you something a little different. What I've done is actually used a sketch. Can you see that? So I've drawn out a sketch. It's sort of like a pattern or a template. Looked at different elements that I wanted to add to the card, and then I've made a card according to that template. So you can see I've got three shapes going down. I've got sentiment going across, and then just a blank background. I get so excited about trying to get to the point that my words are all tumbling together. Stop, calm. Happy crafting. Let's start again. Okay, so there's my template, and that's the cards I've made. Now, don't worry too much if you are looking at this and thinking, Christmas in January, what is this woman doing? Every year I make 10 Christmas cards a month, so that by the time Christmas comes around, I don't have to stress and worry about my cards. I can do all the other fun bits that I want to do. Make stuff with my grandchildren, make some handmade gifts, decorate the house, all sorts of things, but I don't have to worry about my cards. And I posted about this on my social media channels, and there was loads of interest in it, and lots of people have joined me in a new Facebook group called Monthly Christmas Makes Challenge. If you would like a little bit of that, then drop me an email with your email, obviously it will have, and I can send you a link and you can join in. You don't have to make 10 a month. You can make 2, you can make 5, you can make 1, just so that by the time Christmas comes around, you are stress-free from card making. You've just got all the other stress going on. But it's a lot of fun. We really are going to support each other, inspire each other. Some months I don't make cards. Sometimes I make gift tags or gift boxes, or the choice is yours. It's just for fun. It's stress-free crafting. You know I'm all about the stress-free crafting. So this is the card I'm going to share with you today. I'm going to show you how to make this. And yes, I am going to make another Christmas card. I need to make 10, don't I? That'll only make 2. But for those of you who don't want to make a Christmas card, this is part of the new online exclusives that went live on the 7th. And it's got the cake celebration set. I deliberately have used lots of die cutting in this, not stamping. I've stamped the sentiment, and that is it. But the cake die cut in this set, you can make an enormous cake. You can do several layers. You can make a wedding cake, an anniversary cake, a birthday cake. You can make it as simple or as difficult as you want. And I love that. I love how you can do this. When I first made the cards, you can see, if I get the template back, I've gone off a little bit of what my template is. So I had a blank background, and then I've got a rectangle there with 3 squares inside and a sentiment going across. So on this one, I've put the sentiment across the middle. I haven't got squares, I've got 3 shapes. And I have done an embossed piece for the background just because it felt really naked, really bare, but I've done it in the same colour as the card so you don't really notice it. What else have I used? I've used lots of retired bits on the Christmas card, some paper that's just going out. This one I've used some celebration paper that you can earn free with a qualifying spend through January and February. If you like what you've seen, you've got questions, ask away. If you're asking a question, somebody else will be thinking the same. If you want to join in with the challenge, drop me an email at creativetheottaway@gmail.com. And if you like what I've done and you'd like to see more of the sketches where we work from a sketch, just chat away to me. I love to chat craft. Right, that's it. Enough. Stop talking. Okay. Really simple card. It's just a basic card, a normal size. You can resize it. I haven't done a sheet with sizes because you just make it the size that is suitable for you. So I have used lots of retired sets. I've got a piece of half a sheet of A4 card, and in the UK that is 5 7/8 by 4 1/8. So on the longer side, 5 7/8, I'm just going to score it at 4 1/8, and that will give me a card. So for an A4 sheet, I will get 2 cards out of that. Okay, and that's it. That's a really simple card made just like that. Almost a ta-da, isn't it? Look, I've made a card. So like I said, I felt it was too plain with nothing on the background. I did think about stamping in the same garden green. This is garden green colour. I did think about stamping on the background and then adding my paper and embellishment, but it just didn't feel right. So I am using an embossing folder. If you're new to paper crafting, it's just a plastic sleeve like this. You put your paper inside or your card, cut it to the size you want first, slide that in, and then what I normally do is spritz it with some water just because you get a better, deeper impression. Run it through your die cutting machine, the Stampin' Up cut and emboss, and then what comes out is, ta-da, this sheet. Okay, so that's got the impression from this folder on it, and there's lots you can do with embossing folders. I think for most crafters we don't use them for their potential. I feel like there's a little bit of work there I could do to show you some different ideas, so that I'll put it on the list, the ever-growing list. So that's just going to stick on there. Before I do that, I'm using some of the paper that I've got in my stash. If you're like me, you're going to have a lot of paper and you just never use it. So every opportunity I've got, I'm going to use some paper, and I really love this. It matches in with the garden green colour. It's got some little red berries, and what I need to do is just make sure that that folds round. Now, a top tip, I could cut it so that it's just at the edge like that, but it's much nicer. Did I bring the double-sided tape? Probably not now. Let's have a look. No, I'll have to do it with Tombow glue. That's okay. It's much nicer if you actually fold it round, because it just gives a better finish. So you do one side, glue it down, and then do the other side like that, and it just gives a much nicer finish on there. And also, if you're going to tie some ribbon or some wool through, which again, I don't know if I've brought that through. I might have to go and get that. I'll show you on the other card. I've just looped it through. I used red wool because it was exactly the same red that I needed. So I just used some wool. I'm a multi-crafter. I've got loads of stash of everything. So I just used some wool. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so that's stuck down, but the middle bit isn't stuck down, because then I can slide things underneath. I can put my wool or my ribbon wherever I want it. And the embellishments for the front will just keep it in place. So I'm going to stick that down. So I've made sure that my layer of card that goes on the top is slightly smaller. I have folded over my paper. Now I would normally do that with double-sided tape. Oh look, my glue's going. You haven't played with me for a week. I'm not going to work. Yes you will, come on, you can do it. Look at that tiny little blob. Okay, right, I'm going to press really hard and then it's going to come out everywhere, isn't it? Yep, look. And down there as well. That's much more glue than I want. So I'm just going to try and spread it out without putting any more glue on. So I'm using Tombow glue. I tend to use Tombow glue mainly unless I want to put something in a certain place like these folded over bits, just because you get a bit of wiggle room. So I'm going to fold over one end, and then I'm going to really try hard to make sure that it's in a line. I can see by the pattern on my embossing folder. Oh look, and I did bring a white through like that. Make sure it's straight. that straight? Don't know that it is. Okay, stick that on there. Get rid of that glue afterwards. That's not quite straight, is it? It doesn't want to tuck under. There you go. Sorry, I'm now talking to myself, but out loud. Do you do that when you're crafting? Of course I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to you. Okay, so that's going to be on the front, like so. Hello, Rosie Cat. What do you want? Every time I start to film, suddenly they're there. Okay, I am going to go and get the wool because I feel like I need that, so I will be quick. So you've probably got some twine or some beautiful ribbon. I have got some beautiful ribbon, but I quite liked the red and the texture of using the wool. So I am just going to, I've slid that underneath. I'm just going to tie that round. Remember, I'm working from a plan, from a sketch, and any of this that I'm doing is just to follow that plan. It's good to have a plan, isn't it? Even if you go off track. Okay, so I'm just going to tie that. So if I get that really tight and then do that down. See, I like the wool. I think it looks nice. Now I'm going to turn it upside down and do the bow upside down because that will make it lay when I turn it round. Did you hear that? They're now jumping in the cardboard box in the kitchen. I hope you can't hear that. Okay, so then I pull it to how I want it. One side's gone right in and one side's not. There. Okay, that'll do. Never tie bows on a live video. Ah, scissors. Okay, so what will happen, even though I tied that upside down, or what should happen, is it will lay the right way. So I'm just going to chop that off about there. Okay, get rid of that. And I can slide that up the top if I want it up the top because I've not glued anything in place. Now, what I have used, the Unbounded Love dies, they're current in the current catalogue. It looks really messy seeing them there. So what I've done is I've got this to show you what's in the set. So there's lots of different stitched outlines, all different stitches. Can you see all of those? There's a bit of foliage as well, a bit of floral, loads of different sizes on there. I think there's 20 dies. It's called Unbounded Love, and I love these just because you can layer them together. So I have used this one with the dotted stitching, and then I've used this one which is plain just to layer on the top. So I have got 3 of those, okay, with the dotted stitching, and they are just going to go on there. Because in my sketch, if I bring my sketch back in, just to keep looking at it, my sketch has got 3 shapes on a rectangle. So I'm treating this as my rectangle and this is my 3 shapes. Now I am just going to glue those straight on, and the glue is still pouring out everywhere. So there's one. I'm going to glue them all so I can get them all on in one go. Now, I'm not too worried about leaving a gap in between. I will leave a tiny little gap, but I want them to be more down the bottom than they are at the top. Okay, I'm actually going to put a bit behind there so it does stay down. That's what I should have told you. Okay, so that is going to go down there. Okay, so what I mean is I need to put it right at the edge so that it stays down. Then my next one will go on just about there. You can just see there's a little line in between. So there's a hint that there's some designer series paper in between. Put some glue there. And then my last one will just go there. And that's my 3 shapes. and they are just going to be the background. They almost merge in, which makes the embellishments that you put on top really pop off the page. Now I've got 3 of these. They don't have any stitching on. The top and the bottom one just lay on, and this one has got a sentiment stamped. So I've got a really old set called Itty Bitty Christmas, and it's got a lovely sentiment in it that I like that says thinking of you at Christmas time. So I'm going to put that on because that's a really nice sentiment to have on your Christmas card. Oh, let's see if I can stamp straight. Oh, yeah. Okay, and I'm going to put that on with some dimensionals because I want it to pop, but it doesn't have any weight to it, so I'm just going to put 1 in each corner diagonally. So just like that. Got some wool on there. Okay, and that is just going to go in the middle, just like that. Okay, ta-da! Okay, the bottom one, I've got some die cut trees. Now these are from, again, a retired set, Whimsical Trees, if any of you have got that. If you haven't, if you've got a Dear Zoo, that's a book, isn't it? The Zoo set. There's a zoo set that was out last year. That's got a really lovely little tree in that I've used for a Christmas tree before. They're just really tiny and you just want them to fit across. Now I've got 3 here, and what I did on mine is I bunched them together, and then I used some of the Nouveau drops just to make the dots on the top. And that's what I'll do again. I hadn't got any sparkly red gems. Well, I had got sparkly red gems, but not the right red, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to put some glue. So 1 is going to go on the background. This one, I think. That is going to go just on the back. So I'm putting some glue on, and that's going to form the background. That's just going to go there. Don't worry that it sticks over because you've got a bit of room between. And then these 2, I'm going to again put on with some dimensionals, and I'm just going to cut the dimensionals at an angle so I can use little strips of them rather than the whole thing. So rather than a big hexagon, I've just cut a little piece off, and that is going to go there. Now I'm leaving that tree tail at the moment, or tree trunk, and then this one, that's a slightly wider tree, so that's got a slightly wider bit of dimensional, and that is going there. And then I'm just going to trim off the trunks where I think they should be. I am letting them overhang a bit. Okay, and again I'm going to put it on with dimensional, 1 in each corner, like so, and that will be my second layer there. I'll do the red dots last. Now my third bit, okay, I am going to put on, so I'm going to put it straight on with some dimensionals, just there and there, just like that. Okay, and then I have got this. So this is Santa with his sleigh. Again, this is a retired set. It is from the Jolly Seasons dies. Okay, now obviously you don't need to do exactly the same as me. What the purpose of this video today is to show you how to take a sketch and turn it into what you need it to be. Now my Santa and sleigh is usually got 3 reindeers, so I'm just going to carefully cut off the extra bit that's been die cut, just so it looks like it was just always meant to be one little reindeer. I'm just using my tool to poke out all the extra bits So he's really going to pop off of the page. This is such a handy tool. You've got so many different ends on it as well. There's a pokey tool bit, there's a tacky end to pick up gems and rhinestones and all sorts. Let's get those out of the way. What else is there? Oh, like a little palette knife as well. You just twist them off like that and swap them around. They're double-ended as well, look, like that. All sorts of goodies there. Right, now this one can have a whole one there because it will fit, but then the other side again, it's not big enough, so I'm just going to put, let's put half a dimensional, but at an angle, and that's going to go there, okay, because the reindeer is going to overhang. Let's move that out the way, and that is there, and I think that's it apart from my little gems. So I'm going to put 3 on there. Oh, what you don't want is that big tail. One there. The pressure of being watched. Okay, so I think that is job done. Let's move it out of the way and we compare. Yep, so that's going to go down there. That's my little bow. Is it going to stay? Okay, I think we are done. So that is how you turn a sketch, let's get the sketch back, into a card. There's the sketch and there's the cards. Ta-da! Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this quick little craft along and that you give sketches a try. Let me know how you get on and I will see you very soon. Thanks for watching.